Hello there everybody and welcome back to Grand Bazaar. It is now a couple of days past our last Bazaar day that took place on the 6th. And this is a very uneventful week. There is absolutely nothing going on here. So I thought it would be good to do a sort of in-between Bazaar video. We're gonna go a little bit more in depth with our pets because we haven't played with any of those toys that we bought at the bazaar. I'm going to take my horse for a practice race. We'll have a look at what's going on with my crops, and then I plan on also putting in Freya's final heart event, which will make all the heart events that we were gonna show before we end up getting married. I was paused at the calendar because I want to have the opportunity to play with my pets early in the morning before they start herding all of my animals. I'll let them eat first, but we bought the dog bone and the cat bell at the bazaar from Felix, and they work very simply. You just hold them in your hand and throw them, and your animal will increase their training level by doing this. I find that cats are a little bit more playful than dogs. Cats will sort of bat their cat bell around. And if my other cat was still here, they would actually sort of bat it between each other, which is very cute. But you can see that my cat was kind of having a little bit of a heyday, jumping up and down. They're still going after the bell. Very excited. So you can throw the cat bell for the cats in order to get their training up, which will make it more likely that they can herd more animals for you. And it's the same situation with the dog by using the dog bone to train him in the same way. Doing that will allow him to bring more animals in and out of the barn, and I believe that it also increases your chances of winning the pet festival. Now with dogs, you can train them either in or outside of the house because they stay in this area up here with the animals when they are outside. You can see that my dog is more likely to kind of play fetch with me. He'll bring the bone to me, whereas cats kind of just bat it around willy-nilly. But I prefer to do the training for the cats indoors just because they will hide up on the roof of your barn during the day. Usually they'll kind of catch some sleep and they won't wake up, they won't have any interest in playing, which is fairly standard cat behavior, so very accurate to how things work in real life. And it's also easier to find your toys when they're inside. If you don't pick these up at the end of the day, they will disappear. They're not considered a unique item that is too important for you to throw away. And you'll have to buy another one from Felix at the bazaar. They're not too expensive, so it's definitely not the end of the world. But just keep that in mind when you're training. You just want to keep an eye on where your pets ended up taking these so that you can kind of pick them up at the end of the day. A good way to make some inventory space if you want is just to play with them at the beginning of the day, leave them in the house, and then pick them up when you go to bed. That's usually what I do. And since we just got those toys, my pets currently have no training level, which is kind of to be expected, but we can see that the dog that I picked up in the wintertime, as well as my first cat, do have a little bit of friendship, and I'm hoping that if I'm diligent using the cat bell, that we can get some training underway and we will be able to do well at the animal festival in the wintertime. So fingers crossed, I now have access to those, and it's pretty easy just to sort of wake up in the morning, pick up your animals and pet them first thing, and throw around the toys, you know, before they eat and before they start working and herding your animals in and out of the barn. So that is something that I will work on. And then before we move on and sort of talk a little bit about the horse, I guess that I will show my configuration for my fields. The bottom field is where I planted all of my tomatoes, and you can see that they've already reached the first stage. I planted all of my corn in the middle field here. These do take a little bit longer to come in than corn, so I'll have to be a little bit patient and wait for these. I currently have radishes growing alongside my tea tree, and then the rest of my field I used all 30 of my seeds to grow some pineapples. And I think once my radishes come in, what I'm gonna do is use the 3x3 square to use up my pumpkin seeds, and then I will just use this one little strip in the middle here to keep growing radishes, because I shouldn't need to depend on radishes for the rest of the season, but I don't think it's a horrible idea just to continue growing them. They have a very high, fast turnover rate, and so I'm hoping that I'll be able to get some really nice, high quality turnips if I work on it all throughout the season. And then that would give me an option to maybe use that as something to grow in the basement. And speaking of basement, I don't think I've talked about what it is that I've put down here. It's kind of a big mixture of stuff. I have 4 rows of wheat seeds down here. I decided to just kind of have those started because they do take quite a long time. I have 1 row of cucumbers. I have turnips here next to it, followed by potatoes, and then I have 2 rows of asparagus. So I pretty much have every single spring crop down in my basement. I kind of want to use up the seeds that I have because I made myself quite a few seeds. And I'm still kind of humming and hawing about what I ultimately want to do down there, but I have 5-star asparagus seeds. I've got quite a few turnip seeds to use, quite a few potato seeds. And so I figured I would try to blow through some of these and just use those as some additional income for the bazaars. If I keep growing turnips alongside these cucumbers, I can keep making mixed salads. The asparagus I'll turn into soup to get myself some money. And that is just kind of what I'm working with right now. And my horse is out here in the sunshine. And getting my horse's affection up, I don't think is going to be too difficult, but I need to not be lazy and be proactive about it because the horse festival is coming up very, very soon. And there are multiple ways to increase your horse's affection. The first thing is by feeding it, of course. Because your horse is immortal and it will never die, you actually don't have to feed it. You don't have to spend money on horse treats if you don't want to. But at this point, it's not a cost issue for me. I might as well. I don't know why a horse would be eating a fish-shaped cookie, but that is what it appears to be. So feeding your horse will get you some affection, brushing your horse will get you some affection. You can also check their status with the stethoscope. And then finally, getting on your horse will also give it some affection. You don't even really need to ride it around, but if you just mount it and like you're going to ride it, even that helps. So multiple ways that we can get affection with our horse each and every day. The steering on this is just, oh my god, it's so awful. Let's go to the track and see how I do, shall we? It's like trying to control a tank. So here we go. We're gonna want to jump over hurdles, which I've done a very poor job of. The more hurdles that you jump over successfully, the better momentum that you'll get, and your horse will actually go faster. And that will allow you to get a better time. I feel like my horse is making noises because we don't have a high friendship level yet. And maybe he'll sound a little bit more happy when we're better friends, and also when I stop smacking his face into these hurdles, the poor guy. 41 seconds is abysmal. That is just not good at all. I probably could have shaved off a couple of seconds by, you know, not missing those hurdles. That would have made a huge difference. And hopefully by increasing the horse's affection and getting it to trust us, its friendship will also increase. I suppose that we can try again and just see if we can get a little bit better of a time. The location of the hurdles are always going to be the same. So if you can sort of memorize the course and remember where the hurdles are, it'll be much easier for you. So now that I've gone around this course once, you can see that I'm doing way better. And hopefully we can just be perfect here. No pressure. Perfect. So 21 hurdles in total. And perfection still has me at a time of about 36 seconds. So I did shave off quite a bit. Oh, and look at that. We unlocked Jumping Challenge mode. In Jumping Challenge mode, you have 60 seconds to perform as many consecutive jumps as you can. The game ends immediately if you hit an obstacle. Increase your combo count while avoiding the obstacles. Now, I don't have a whole lot else planned for this video, so I suppose that we can try it. I don't know if this is a better training method, or if this is just for fun, or if this is just, hey, go for 60 seconds and see how well you can do. But if the hurdles are all in the same spot, then you can kind of just go by muscle memory. Of course, my steering was not optimal there, and that was the problem. It wasn't necessarily jumping over the hurdles that was the issue. It was steering my dang horse, which then slowed me down and made me crash into hurdles. Well, apparently I'm not very good at this game and I need to practice, and I will. I'll do some practice so that I'm not so horrible at it. I've never actually done that jumping practice mode before, or if I have, it's been a very, very long time since I've done it, and I'm a little bit rusty. But I'm gonna have to get good if we are going to compete at the horse racing festival and not make a complete ass of ourselves. So if nothing else, I need to focus heavily on my horse, maxing out the amount of ways that I can get friendship with it, because I'm going to need to increase their friendship as quickly as I can over a couple of weeks time period. And that was all I really wanted to cover in today's video in terms of what is going on at the farm. Just a couple of things that I failed to mention or talk about or go over. So I thought that those would all be good little things to cover in this sort of in-between Bazaar videos. Especially because we had very, very few videos last summer, and I'd rather not make that a complete repeat. To end things off, I'm going to load up a slot that I have with Freya's final heart event. It's very late at night. This event can take place only on a Sunday between 10 p.m. and midnight at Freya's house when she has a yellow heart. So very, very specific parameters for this one. Hello, are you working late? I see, that must be tough. I'm actually working late too. I'm going over my research. Next week will be busy. Yeah, you are working late if you're up at almost midnight. It's a little weird, but I kind of like it when my job gets really tough. That's when I really feel like my skills are being put to the test. Hey, do you like working on your farm? Obviously, she wants to know that you like a challenge as well. But yes, I do like working on my farm. Oh yeah? Fun, huh? I've always imagined that it must be a lot of hard work. But it sounds like you're up to the challenge. I like that about you. I guess we both like to be challenged. I hope I never stop growing and learning new things. I don't ever want to feel like I'm just complacently treading water. You know, with you by my side, I feel like I could take on any of life's challenges. Well, I feel like those are some very forward feelings. Freya is a total girl boss. I really don't think that she needs a man. However, you know, I think we've convinced her that maybe she wants one. I almost like to leave her single just because she is such a hard-working person who is very, very passionate about her job. But when you marry her, she's able to do both. Because she's also the kind of person that's up for a challenge, I kind of feel like she would be willing to take on all of that extra stuff of being a wife and a mother and running a household, you know? All around, I just really, really like Freya. Her and Antoinette currently are at an orange heart. Daisy has reached a red heart, so that means that we are extremely close to having all of our marriage candidates up to red hearts. And our marriage poll has been running for a decent amount of time now, so this is going to sort of be the last week that I'm going to be running the wife poll. I will do my Bazaar video on the 13th. I'm going to keep playing off screen. We will do our Bazaar, and then sometime next week I will go ahead and announce the winner of who it is that we are going to marry. And it should only take me a couple more weeks to get both Antoinette and Freya up to red hearts. So I feel like by the time I'm sort of ready to end the wife pool, everybody should be in a position to get married. And I'm hoping to be married by the end of summer, early fall kind of thing. So I will once again post a link to that in case anybody is watching and still has not voted. It is currently a very, very close race between Sherry and Freya. I really feel like it could change with just a few votes. So please, please get your votes in. Hopefully by watching all of these videos of all the marriage candidates, you've gotten to know them a little bit and we have a feel for their personality and you guys feel like you can vote for who it is that you like best. I'm very excited to see who it's going to be. And for now, I'm just going to carry on and I will be back on our next Bazaar day. Thank you all so very much for watching and I hope that I will see you next time.